What's going on, guys? Kai here. Today I'm starting a new series, a 4-part series on what's going on, guys. Kai here. Today I'm trying something new. Let me know if you like it, if you want to see the others with it. Today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about Scholar. So Scholar, as we see over here, it has both the judge and priest. So Judge is the offensive one, Priest is the defensive one, but as we'll see, that isn't how it actually works out in game. So Judge, for every 4 times of releasing Judge skills, the following skill will gain 50% damage bonus and enhance effect. So first let's go over it. Coldfire Bird summons the Phoenix, throw it out, deals damage in the zone, reducing block. So we're actually going to go over here to the practice dummy just to show you how things look. So if we look right here, throw the bird out, boom, and then it actually does a small AoE when it lands, and then it does the block reduction effect at that point. And then if you upgrade it, as you'll see, it calls 2 birds. So we'll throw it out. Alright, so now they're purple, which indicates that. Also the 4 blue bars under my HP. Throw 3 birds. And they're all going to do their own effect. Then we have Kiss of Frostworm, summon the Ice Dragon from beneath the target, dealing damage, reducing movement speed. And if we take a look, Kiss of Frostworm enlarge the body, so it's going to be a bigger effect. Now, a lot of people are going to just press and click the skill, but as I'll show you in a second, you can hold and move it to control it, which is now bigger. It even showed up bigger than the circle that I threw it on. Now, Assaulting Hurricane, release the hurricane, deals damage in the path. When it hits an adventurer, knocks them into the air. As we see down here, Assaulting Hurricane moves slower and a wider range. Very similar to the Kiss of Frostworm, but this is something I like to do a lot in PvP when I do play Judge, is double tornado. And then look at that, much bigger, much slower, but there is a bigger windup. With all of Judge skills, you have to be very careful, because if you go to move too soon, notice how you kind of get stuck in an animation when you do it. But there are some frames that if you click move too quickly, then it will cancel the skill. Last, let's talk about Chain Strike, your big skill for Judge. In a straight line, dealing damage when your break is higher than the block of the target. And remember, this is a PvP type stat. You deal up to 50% additional damage based on the value difference. And if we take a look at the upgraded version, the ground swept by the laser causes scorching damage. So, as we'll see right here, the line on the ground right there, this is damage over time. Normally, and this is also another great skill that you can direct hold like this, and then if you want to cancel it, move to this blue X, turns red, turn it off, laser, and then the idea is you would use the bird and then the laser. Now before PvP, you can use these all these skills in conjunction. As you can see, I have 2 blue bars under me, 3, 4, and then I'm ready. And I can hold this skill for a pretty long time. I can decide if I want to knock up, which I find very, very powerful in PvP, or if I want to laser. Double tornado is usually good enough in something like Top League to allow your team to deal with the rest. Now, as we'll see from the rest of what we got here, is when an enhanced skill hits the target, reduces the cooldown of the next 2 Judge skills released in the following 8 seconds by 2 seconds. That's being triggered every 25 seconds. So That's when an enhanced. So when a purple skill hits someone, so if this tornado hits someone, then my next two skills, as we'll see right here, if we go here, this has a 4-second cooldown. It'll be reduced by 2 seconds. It'll be a 2-second cooldown, which is pretty massive. Now, talking about Priest, let's change our abilities over to the Priest skills so I can walk you through those, and then we'll talk about builds. So, Priest right here, when releasing a Priest skill, so any of these 4 skills, gain a shield equal to 10% of HP, which this is max HP, not current HP, and a super armor effect for 5 seconds. This is triggered once every 20 seconds. Super armor is you will not be knocked up or knocked down. They've recently started putting the wording draw effects in there, but the Priest does not have that such wording currently. Increase the duration of all buffs triggered by Priest by 60%. Now, the buffs it is considering is Star Blessing down here, as well as the heal right here. This continuous recover regenerates 5% max HP every 5 seconds for 12 seconds. This is being increased by 60%, allowing you to get a third tick of this. But looking at the skills themselves, we have, starting with Purification of Light, throws the orb, does damage, and reduces tenacity by 20%. This is very, very huge in how you're going to... Priest gets used with a lot of classes because primarily this is one of the reasons. Reducing the tenacity of bosses or PvP by 20%, allowing you to get some crits in with classes that need to crit. Then we go into Pious Light, regenerate 42.6% of attack instantly for all teammates. It's not all teammates, it is a pretty big area. And then 5% max HP every 5 seconds for 12 seconds. You will get 3 ticks out of this from the Pious Light. From the Priest passive. So that'll be an extra 15% max HP. Do Forbidden Thunder Zone, deal damage AoE. This is just an AoE, but it's a nice consistent AoE that you can control the range. And Star Blessing. Grants self and nearby allies 20% attack bonus, 20% crit bonus. And remember, we're also reducing tenacity by 20%, which is going to really help us get some crits. And increasing our attack right here also makes our heal stronger, because as you see, it's 42.6% of attack. The skill will remove debuffs from affected units, only works once per 30 seconds on the same target. So there is healing reduction. So if you Star Blessing, this will get rid of healing reduction or slows, and that or stuns from your allies. And Pious Light will then heal for the regular amount because it's not being reduced by heal recovery reduction. As far as the outsides, Pious Light and Star Blessing are the two that I would recommend going for as fast as possible. Star Blessing to reduce the cooldown, so 6.5 seconds, puts us at under 30 seconds, which is very, very powerful. Especially right here, it says once per 30 seconds, we're at 29.5. So even if you do it right on rip, you have to wait 0.5 seconds before casting it. Even if you just bring this to 9, it will go to 30, which I think might actually be best to just leave this outer edge at 9 so you can't have user error. Pious Light, this is a 10% chance to increase the healing by 50%, which can be a massive heal. Now let's show you the effects. So starting from the top, we have the Tenacity Ball. Look at the range. So from the edge, I can throw it towards the middle. You need to keep track of these ranges, especially with PvP. Throw it out. Boom. Does some AoE. Very similar to the third skill, Thunder Zone. has a much bigger AoE, but about the same range. Now, these two attack skills also fall to the same issues. I'll show you on the next one. But the heal, start getting the heal over time. And then Star Blessing, huge AoE. So here's the example. If there are some situations where you go to click one of the damage skills, primarily just the first one right here, Purification of Light. If you click dodge too quickly, then you will cancel the ball. Now, as far as which fairies you should bring with each one of these, that's really going to depend on your team. If you were trying to do a crit build and you're bringing Priest along just so you can hit those crits, then bringing Fire would be recommended. For Judge, same thing. If you're trying to do crit, bring Fire, but Judge has a bit more leeway here, where Judge can make use of the Holy Echo. With their damage, they're able to put people below 50 pretty quickly, as well as Wind actually goes really well with Judge, because Wind gives cooldown reduction, which synergizes very well with this lower part right here. As far as what wills to bring, that's also obviously going to depend. For damage builds, Slaughter and Fierce Attack are both very, very powerful and ones you should always consider. For defensive PvP focused ones, things like God Bless and Rigidity are powerful. If you're trying to do a CC thing with Judge, because Judge has a bunch of CC in its kit, then Nightmare will be very, very powerful. As far as the generations, if you're doing the crit build, as many break frees as you can is going to be very, very powerful. If you're trying to do that CC like of Judge, like we talked about, Soul Hunt is going to be your go-to. If you're in PvE, Judge does very, very well. Things like Guild Boss. Then you will want Fighting Will, the core skill, as well as many Fighting Will strikes as you can get, because this will allow you to really get some cooldown going and allow you to push past some breakpoints you weren't able to prior. As far as crystals, all of them you're going to want to attack. Your heal is based on attack for Priest, so you're going to want that. Your damage is based on attack. For Judge, you're going to want that. If you're trying to make use of the EM Chain Strike, some break is going to be nice. I wouldn't go too heavy. Remember, that's a PvP only stat. So unless you have a PvP and a PvE sets, then maybe 1 or 2 breaks will be enough. Especially if you hit with your bird effect to reduce their block. Then for most classes, you're going to want crit and tenacity to allow you to do damage and receive less damage. Now let's talk about some basic combos. As I said prior, swap this back, swap back to Judge. Now we have 2 real basic combos when it comes to Judge, and that's going to be straight down the line. 1, 2, 3, 4. And why that is you have the block reduction, the movement speed down. The movement speed down means that they'll have a harder time dodging the next 2 skills. And then you do the AoE with the tornado, knocking them up, which will then allow you to line up the laser where they'll still have the block down from the bird, so you can benefit from the additional damage from EM Chain Strike. As far as the other combo, it's primarily a PvP combo, and we're looking at knock up, and then go through your other abilities, chain strike, chain strike. That's how you're going to primarily do things with PvP. For PvE, you want to focus on resetting the bird as much as possible, because that is going to keep the damage going, especially in something like Guild Boss. Let me know if you want to see me add other information for the other videos down below, and which class you want to see next. Till next time, guys.